Share my screen. So do you have anything to share with us? So 汉飞机成，哎，人杰，彭慧 do you have anything to share?
Yeah, we just submitted a issue in PI in community recently,
Okay.
and as I last time I synced with you offline that we have some proposal for the hardware validation part and other
Okay.
kind of things. Yeah, there's the slides. And
Yeah, do you mind just share your slides? Do you have your slides available so we can just
yes, but give me some time. Let me to check it. Yeah.
okay, let me just share my screen first. Whenever you are ready, just ping me. I can share your screen.
Sure.
Okay.
Can we just, so I was reading the Slack. So we are planning 0.5 release or we are planning 0.6 feature? I mean, I was just not very sure.
Yeah, so 0.5 is still missing the eBPF batch get and delete feature. And there's also a bug right now. We do not know if we have a fix or not. So we are still waiting for the feedback. But it seems like we do not have the fix at the moment. So we are going to wait for the 0.6 to fix that issue.
Okay. Yep. So I was going through the Git issues and I'm going to take some time today to just tag the issues to the release because it's a little messed up over there. So yeah, just I'll ask you or other people to just let me know if I'm not able to figure out which is 0.5 and which is 0.6 issues and sort that out so that it's easy to do the to cut the release.
All right. Give me a sec. So Marcelo is asking the Zoom link. Yeah, so this is probably one of the last Zoom meeting. I'll use my private Zoom, so I will ask for the CNCF to give us a Zoom meeting, so we can use the CNCF Zoom starting from next week. So depends if we can get it or not, and hopefully we can publish our meeting schedule as the CNCF calendar. So last time we still have the pending issues on the accelerator. So do you want to continue discussing it? So Renjie, you have something about this in-die accelerator last time, so we have not finished yet. Do you have any more information?
Yes. I just added some comments there several weeks ago, and I mentioned the Intel's in-die accelerator solution in the latest Sapphire Rapids Xeon CPU.
Okay.
And we have some constructive discussion in the thread with Chenji and Marcelo, and we found that our in-die accelerator solution may be different with current Kepler's methodology for matrix collection, because the basic idea of methodology of Kepler is for eBPF method, right? And but our in-die accelerator solution, the operations in kernel side is asynchronized with the user space. So we cannot get the specific eBPF counters correctly or properly. So maybe we need to use other power modeling method to expose those metrics. So I think we may not rely on current eBPF methodology for power modeling. Yeah, this is the latest update on this topic.
So is the accelerator being shared by multiple processes?
Sorry.
So is the accelerator can the accelerator being shared by multiple processes? So is that like an exclusive or just a
sure. Different processes can share the same accelerator module because it is in die, and the CPU are shared by multiple processes. Yeah.
So
and we
Mhm.
can identify the difference attribution between different processes, but maybe not the ePPF way. Yeah.
Right.
And for different accelerator have different methodologies. For example, for AMX, we have discussed something with Marcelo before that we may directly use the Linux perf syscall.
Okay.
Actually, at the fundamental, they share the same mechanism with ePPF methodology, but
Right.
there's some slight difference. But anyway, we will try to figure out a proper way to do the power modeling. And
Okay.
for another accelerator QAT, we will use our proposed upstream drivers feature for telemetry to do the power modeling. And we will update to community when it is proper. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
in the next few weeks. Yeah,
That sounds great.
Mhm.
So that is going to be a new challenge. So that's probably we can circle back to the BMC level. So the use case for the BMC and also I think for HMC as well is for the most likely for the single node server, meaning that the previous thinking about have the BMC exporter as an external entity that's streaming the metrics may not be applicable because as a single server, you do not need to have an external or third process exporters to export the metrics. So it makes sense to have the BMC access inside of the Kepler. So in the power source, we currently have components that's mostly GPU, DPU, CPU, and DRAM, and also have an accelerator. So we can also potentially have this external power source, including BMC and HMC. That's where I guess the Kepler direct access to the power source. So that's will be a single entity to access everything. I know that has a security concern, but if the people are using a single server, it doesn't really matter how you deploy the BMC access credentials. So maybe within the first iteration, we're just using Kepler itself to create the BMC access and export the metrics instead of using the BMC exporter independently. So that's all
Yeah.
my. Mhm.
Hobin, yeah, that sounds great also for the HMC. Yeah, currently we do some more experiment on the HMC and to add logic to Kepler and to use the HMC API to connect to the mainframe and collect
Okay.
the alpha and the CPC levels metrics. As I mentioned just now, currently we try to open source the Go version of API, and then if it is open source, I think there is no problem to access from the Kepler to HMC. The question is same as BMC, and we still also need the credential, and we need to keep the credential in the Kepler and maybe save it as a secret or as a way and to access the HMC.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a special case, and for people who really want to access the BMC, that's probably not a bad way. And if that creates a problem, then we externalize the BMC or HMC exporter so they can run in the secure node. But at the moment, I think it's worth trying for the integrated way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just a comment before that, before we close that to G Ray.
Okay.
It's just to mention that if perf can collect in the right way, the counters, so it might be interesting to investigate what perf is doing, which function is intercepting to account it per process, so that we can have like some similar implementation inside Kepler.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Marcelo, for your comments. And just as last time, my colleague Joe Lei talked with you in the discussion thread, I didn't forget. I forgot the thread number. Let me find it later. But the thread mentioned that you mentioned the overhead for the continuous monitoring of those related events. It does not make sense for Kepler. That's the major issue we are facing. So we need to think over it carefully, how to balance such conflict. Maybe there are some trade-offs. If the customer need to figure out the power attribution on the specific in-die accelerator, they have to tolerate some extra overhead. Yeah.
Mhm.
We need some
And
further test and some test results and benchmarks for such solutions to prove that is feasible or acceptable to customer.
makes total sense. And regarding the overhead, we actually have been doing some discussion about, minimize even the BPF overhead to collect performance counter by, have some sampling rate. So we can skip some collection, have some probability to skip things, or just simple skipping, a number of collection per second, things like that. So this might be also useful for this case, since you are seeing a big overhead with this metric collection.
Yeah. Huaming, I have found the slides. Maybe can
Okay,
you
I
give me
will ask you.
several minutes to share it?
Okay,
Okay.
let's go
Thank you.
ahead and share it.
Let me see. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. I have a quick go through that slide prepared several weeks ago, and we just updated some
Sorry, I
information.
can't see the slide. Sorry, can you see the slide?
Yes.
I also can, yeah.
Works
I
for
can
me.
see. Let me rejoin. Maybe some issues. No worries. Continue.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this about 10 several slides, and I have a quick go through. And as you all know, that we Intel just released the latest Sapphire Rapids CPU in early 2023, and these slides have some introduction about the Sapphire Rapids, and we also here is a short summary for Intel's engagement plan with Kepler, and the short-term goal will be the CPU model landing and the platform enablement and support by Kepler. And we also proposed a hardware platform validation guide in Kepler to support Kepler as CNCF sandbox. And also, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this meeting, Intel's in-die accelerators are our emphasis on the market, and the accelerators such as AMX, QAT, and DSA, etc. Their power modeling framework should be well designed, and we try to promote it to Kepler in Q3. Yeah, just in the period of our 06 release, and long term maybe other topics, for example, the confidential computing consumption scenario, and also some scheduling related topics. They are long term goal. And
So, do you mind just ask what is Intel's NI? What is Intel's NI?
NI is just our solution in the container runtime. It is.
Okay.
I'll give the link in the following slides. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. And here is a simple introduction. I will share this slide in the community. Maybe upload it to Slack.
Okay.
You can check it offline to save time in this meeting. And the current status is that we through several previous PRs, we think we have landed our CPU model in Kepler, but we still need some test cases to verify this and to prove that it is well supported by Kepler. So this is why we proposed the issue and PR here recently. And yeah, this will be a topic discussed in the future, in the near future in community. We can think and discuss offline in GitHub or Slack. And yeah, by such mechanism, maybe in the future, not only Intel but also other vendors, their new platform published or released, maybe they can follow the similar process to prove or announce that it is officially supported by Kepler. Yeah, this is our suggestion or proposal. And yeah, now our highest priority in Intel is for the CPU built-in accelerators power attribution, and we use some methodology to calculate it. That is the energy efficiency definition for such accelerator is in this simple formula, and we use we calculate the energy running by solely by CPU and minus the energy by accelerator, and then calculate the energy saving ratio. And yeah.
So do you mind So do you mind so there's two ways to use the same level of efficiency, same level of function. So one is executed in CPU, the other one is executed in the accelerator. So you imagine the difference.
In this slides, backup slides, we have defined the methodology and the mechanism to calculate such for AMX and for QAT. There are a simple graph to describe the different definitions for the part. Yeah. There is a consumption that for the workloads running on a specific platform, for example, Intel's platform, and the power might be the same for the scenario using CPU or using CPU with accelerators enabled, but the execution time is greatly different. So the energy might be different, and also we considered the idle energy consumption.
Jiren, I cannot hear you anymore.
Look at his screen's frozen.
Scenario used in the you can see that we use some formulas. Yeah, these are our general idea about the energy efficiency calculation, and of course I also mentioned that for AMX and QQAT now there are some methodology difference between our solution and the eBPF solution. So there might be some gap to directly contribute our code into Kepler. But we will try to find a way to associate with Kepler for such accelerators power modeling job works. And also, yeah, here's some progress. But also, we mentioned the issue here. We just talked this issue in this meeting, and right. And for other topics, not so urgent for Intel as Intel point of view. And so we set it priority for medium and even lower, for the OOB out of band power monitoring feature and for the open telemetry integration. But we do have interest on these areas, and we can proactively participate in the discussion and the design discussion process. We promise to do this, and we'll keep an eye on the progress in community. And the last one for the question Huaming just asked for the NI. NI is currently the sub-project of Container D. It is designed to define interface and implement common infrastructure for enabling pluggable runtime extensions. So it can be regarded as some container runtime plugins for resource management use. Yeah. The resource can be CPU, memory, or any other any other code efficiencies. And yeah, and it's also by design supporting all the most of the OCI compatible runtimes. For example, Container D and Cryo. So there's some presentation in CodeCon, and you can check them offline.
Can you share the link?
Yeah, that's all. That's our simple proposal. And also we have used we have leveraged the Kepler in some public demos, both inside Intel and outside Intel, and we get very positive feedback from customers. They get very interested in this area, and they also noticed the Kepler, and they ask many questions for Kepler. So I think we have many opportunities to our customers, and we have, of course, many opportunities for collaboration with community in such sustainable computing, market. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, these demos that you did, is it open?
We just made some simple modification for the Kepler's Grafana dashboard. We changed the formula as this way. Means that we calculate all the energy consumption, and to divide the AI model inference frames. That means because, as you know, AMX is an accelerator used in AI machine learning area, right? And with or without AMX, the inference frame per second result is slightly different. Is greatly different. As I mentioned in this slide, for our local test result, we can see that with AMX, we can on the SSD mobile net INX8 modeling inferencing, we can get 30% efficiency enhancement improvement, and 70% improvement for BF16. And for the executed time, there are other slides, and you can check on our official site, Intel official site. There are many benchmark results, maybe 10+ enhancement in the performance. So in this way, due to the carbon footprint topic or consumption, we can see that the energy efficiency also have great enhancement using the accelerator. This is acceptable and customers' interest point. So they are trying to understand the mechanism, also trying to also trying to confirm that the Kepler's data is acceptable and the accuracy. This is why we proposed an issue in community recently that we need to give some official announcement and test mechanism to validate that Kepler works well on specific platforms, and the data, the metrics are accurate and meaningful to customers. So the customer will have enough confidence to use such tools and such frameworks for their carbon footprint projects. This is the main concern and engagement plan in Kepler community. we have some existing AI pipeline workload to do some power measurement and to do some demo. Yeah. And the demo, one of the important part of the demo is the Kepler. Yeah.
Do you have a recorded demo?
Sure. If you want, we can share the link. I'll check with my colleagues if the link is visible for outside visitors. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very nice, and also I would suggest, Homie, maybe we should have like some page, you know, even in our GitHub, like saying who is using Kepler, if a list of demos that people can reference, that we can highlight, you know, the
Adoption.
yeah, the adoption, exactly, the adoption of Kepler, because I think this is very nice, very good use case, and this is a good point also for selling Kepler, so I think it's nice.
Yeah, maybe
Also, no, I'm just wondering, is this like a public knowledge that Intel has been doing all this with Kepler, or is it an internal information?
Sorry.
Oh, I meant like the
Hello?
slides that you shared. Am I audible?
no,
Yeah, this
you.
is a customer deck. It's not Intel confidential. We can share it later in Slack or any other places.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay,
It depends on you.
we do
Maybe
have
I
a
will
page
first
on our
upload it
project.
to the project Slack channel. Yeah, you can check it. And
Sure,
if you
thanks.
have any concerns, suggestions, or questions, feel free to ping me or ping my ping my other colleagues. Yeah, in Slack.
Okay.
Can you make it so? Yeah.
Any suggestions?
Can you make it so? I think we are going to have these questions in the CNCF as well. So there was an annual review doc we have to finish. So one of the questions is that do you have any adoption, end user adoption? This could be one of the examples, the end user adoption to showcase Kepler are used in certain scenarios as a solution.
Okay, thank you, Huami.
Yeah.
I'll stop the sharing. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
go ahead. Yeah, welcome.
Right. So that's for yeah. So the next one, so open telemetry. This has been asked a lot, especially by the people who work in the telco. So they want to have the telemetry information to be available through different processes. So currently, we do not have a native open telemetry integration. One of the things people can do is to use a bridge. So it's essentially a middleware to collect the metrics and convert it to telemetry. But that will be very expensive, especially on the telcos, a single node environment. So we, at one point or the other, we have to investigate supporting OpenTelemetry API natively, so we can export not just the metrics, but also the telemetry.
I had a follow-up. Yeah, so I was looking into this issue, and the question that I have is, as you said, like, are we going to implement the OpenTelemetry inside Kepler itself?
Yeah, that's probably going to be the way.
Okay, I can take this issue because I'm a little bit familiar with OpenTelemetry.
Okay.
I've done that with Cryo. And it is just telemetry data, right? We are not just the telemetry data. Do we know what kind of what they want to export? Because with OpenTelemetry, you also have logs, you have events, you have metrics. So are we clear?
I think from the issue discussion is, for now, it's only the metrics. And and they were saying that there is a very easy way to convert it to Prometheus metrics. Not sure, I'm not familiar with that. So in the discussion, they were saying that. So I would say, if we have the same results, you know, exporting it as Prometheus library or OpenTelemetry library, I think should be fine. We just need to have everything, you know, working in both environments. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some implementation of telemetry, open telemetry to Prometheus. I've not seen the opposite, like the vice versa from Prometheus to open telemetry. So
Yeah,
is it
that's what they
okay
said. Yeah.
if, yeah, is it okay if we down the line only use open telemetry and then have a sidecar that converts from open telemetry to Prometheus for people who need to use Prometheus?
As far as understood, it's not need a sidecar. It was something else much more easier, but we need to double check that. And
Yeah, the sidecar
if
probably have, yeah, I agree. So sidecar probably has a difference of the difficulty of doing this in line because you have to scrape it every time. That's probably will create some overhead. So if you can
yeah,
just directly emit the telemetry, that will be better.
yeah,
No, I'm
there
not saying
was
that. I'm saying we would be emitting telemetry directly. And
Directly, yeah.
yes,
where,
and that they I need to find the issue again that we were discussing. There was this guy requesting this. He told that was very straightforward to convert to push this metrics to Prometheus. But I think Prometheus was supporting that somehow. I don't remember exactly
Oh,
the
that's yes,
details.
you're right. So there's one of the issue that's he opened a while back is that his own API, Matrix API supports push method.
Yes.
But I don't trust that one because if that is only supported by a single person, what if the person quits the project? Yeah, go ahead. I'm just let me search this issue.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, we need some investigation on that. So yeah, again, so if it's very straightforward to push metrics to Prometheus using this new, definition, I think it's fine for me. Otherwise, we need to just be careful to remove Prometheus metrics because we really want to have it
No,
working.
we will support both.
But not both at the same time, isn't it? So the overhead will be big. So I would say that, or we disable one, enable another. And
right?
if open, um, forgot the name now, sorry. The open telemeter, it's useful for Prometheus. Maybe in the future we can just keep one. But let's double check that to to
Okay.
verify it.
Yeah, I will get back on this because my knowledge takes me that it's very easy. I wouldn't say very easy, but there's a way to do from OpenTelemetry to Prometheus. And because OpenTelemetry is based on the protocol, they have this protocol which is like open, so anybody that implements that protocol can get the OpenTelemetry data. I'll get back on this. I worked on this like quite some years back, so I have faint memory.
I cannot find the issue anymore. I reference this.
Yeah, it's the issue 997. You see the huge discussion here. Did you find? Yeah. So I just try to follow up that's why I'm comment this because I tried to follow up in this issue some time ago. Yeah, Peru, if you can just double check all the discussion here and see if things make sense, so it would be nice.
Yep.
Thanks. Woman, if you are speaking, you are muted.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's just escapes my monitor. Yeah, so we are still trying to migrate everything to CNCF for this week. And so the one issue, the eBPF batch gets or deletes. If Marcelo, you can finish that, that will be great. So once that one is in, and if we have a resolution on the missing part, we take it. Otherwise, we hopefully will cast the release by the end of this week. And then next week
Yeah,
we will.
I'm a little bit like busy this week with finalizing the paper
Okay,
and also the idle part, you know, to improve the idle
right.
power consumption. But if I have time, I will do that. I will let you know. Otherwise,
Okay.
feel free also
All
to
right.
carry on that. But
All right. Yeah.
let's synchronize on that. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So we hopefully can get the release by this Friday, and then next week we will start from the CNCF facilities to start working on the 0.6 release. And we also have the first community meeting, this CNCF sandboxing, hopefully using the CNCF Zoom meeting. Yeah, that's all from me. And other topics?
Huaming, I have a question.
Yes.
Can I know the expected release time for the 05 release? My
Yeah,
boss
so
asked this for me. Yeah.
we hopefully can cast the release by this Friday. Yeah, I know this gets delayed quite a bit because of the meetings, conferences, and the demos. So hopefully we can
Yeah, I
get
see.
this. 0.5 will be this Friday. So that's June
Okay, good.
June 3rd. This June 3rd.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then we can start working on 0.6 in next week. So even post this Friday, we can still pick up the fixes into the minor release. So 0.51, 0.52, this kind of schedule.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's all for me. Otherwise, we will see each other on Slack. All right.
So one thing I can talk, Kwame. So
Yes.
actually I try to work on the BMC, IPMI, HMC stuff. And so who might be the right person to talk each other? So I think the design and also, architecture and what we have to do and things like that. I think it seems like you're summarizing pretty this diagram, but I think who I can work with, or just like I can work, by myself.
Yeah. So we can work together. So
Okay.
I got a machine. It's not with me yet, but people promised me to give me a Dell machine with HMC BMC access. So the idea is that first we will support the Dell and HP servers with Redfish BMC, and then we will expand that scope. If there's because there are people saying that even the Redfish there's a variations, so we have to be vendor specific which one we support. Yeah, so if you have like IBM, BMC support, we can work together.
Okay, I see. So yeah, basically, if possible, so I can make one machine available here in IBM as well. So
we can compare. Yes.
Yeah. So okay. All right. So I'll talk to you.
Thank you. All right. So if nothing else, I will give you 20 minutes back.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week at the CNCF.
Bye-bye.
Thanks you.
Oh, Homing, can you
Yes.
update the meeting invitation, because I don't know. I don't know why I had the wrong link. So
yeah. So for the future, if I can get the CNCF meeting calendar, I will just post it on the meeting calendar in CNCF meeting after meeting invite on the CNCF's calendar. That's going to be the hopefully single Zoom meeting. This time I just create each meeting with a new Zoom. That's why you get confused.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Bye.